Just to review some of President Trump's, they're trying to make a big deal out of the fact that he's gone golfing a few times. I mean, the guy has done so much so quickly, and they never cared about the amount of times that Barack Obama golfed, which was more than anybody except for, I think, Woodrow Wilson.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Woodrow Wilson golfed like almost every day of his presidency. And I think for Obama, it was only every other day. But he did the congressional address last week, of course, and brought up some things that apparently the Democrats couldn't care less about, like a 12-year-old boy, 13-year-old boy with brain cancer. He talked about the illegal aliens who have taken the lives of innocent American girls, teenagers. Talked about Peyton McNabb, whose athletic dreams went away because a male on the other side of the net smashed a volleyball in her face so hard that it paralyzed her on the right side of her body, caused her permanent damage, and she can't compete anymore. On the trade and investment front, the sweeping tariffs were about to go on effect, but then they didn't go into effect. And so that keeps going back and forth. We'll see how that works out. He continued pressuring Ukraine to make a deal to end its war with Russia, including temporarily suspending military aid and Ukraine's access to satellite imagery. He is also strongly considering imposing sanctions and tariffs on Russia until a peace deal is reached. And he met with 8 hostages from Gaza who thanked him for his efforts to bring them home as he listened to their stories. On the immigration front, Vice President J.D. Vance visited the southern border, took a helicopter to view Eagle Pass, which is one of the hot spots along the border. He visited a border patrol detention facility, and then they had discussions on the crackdown. President Trump took aim at the onslaught of emergency lawsuits being filed against his administration pretty much every day. And as far as the administration moves, the Treasury said it would stop enforcing burdensome Biden-era reporting requirements on small businesses. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services warned hospitals to comply with Trump's executive orders on the dangerous chemical and surgical mutilation of children or transgender surgeries and hormones. The Center for Disease Control Prevention launched a new tool to increase transparency around conflicts of interest among its vaccine advisory committee members. The Justice Department arrested the ISIS terrorist who orchestrated the murders of 13 U.S. service members at Abbey Gate, as well as 2 illegal migrants accused of running one of the largest human smuggling rings in the country. Wow. Also, the Department of Veterans Affairs and the EPA both canceled hundreds of millions of dollars worth of wasteful grants and unnecessary contracts. We mentioned that the administration cut off $400 million to Columbia University because they don't seem to care about their Jewish students. President Trump signed an executive order to ban student loan forgiveness for nonprofits that engage in substantial illegal purpose. For example, groups that flout his executive orders on diversity, equity, and inclusion, gender ideology, or illegal immigrants. I mean, there's just so many things. Made English the official language of the U.S. Set up a White House task force for the FIFA World Cup 2026, which will include some games in the U.S. And he recognized March as Awareness Month for colorectal cancer, which is exciting. That's fun. But that does kill 50,000 Americans a year, so that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Recognized Ramadan, too. Recommits to upholding religious liberty that is such an integral part of the American way of life. I mean, every week it's just like a ton of stuff